I built the biggest pyramid in all of No Man's Sky. And you're probably wondering, oh, no, you haven't. There's probably something way bigger. I can guarantee you, so far, from all the research that I've done, I can't find anything so big. So let's just kind of go through what I did, why I'm saying that I built the biggest pyramid, and kind of the history of what's going on. So the big joke about this is my buddy, because every survival craft game that we ever do, I always build pyramids, and he's just like, start filming yourself doing it, because I always make them over the top, outlandish, giant pyramids. I did it in Raft. I did it in Raft so long, actually, that I quit smoking just by doing that. I sat down and built something so massive you could build endless, like, pretty much buildings inside of it. That was alone in Raft. So this one is actually way smaller than the one that I built in Raft. This one is just about, I'm not going to give the size amount because I want you guys to see if you can guess. You can leave a comment below, but I counted the squares each way, and I actually had to redo it over because while I was just trying to put them down so quickly, just because there's such a mass of them, I ended up making the thing crooked because I actually laid it on top. Here you can kind of see that I'm getting the platforming correctly by just doing it super fast. I've actually started figuring out, oh, I'm going really slow by just kind of doing them all over the place, and I end up having this right here where I just am like pretty much become a click monster on it. It's actually so long, it was like 4.5 hours to build the entirety of the thing. I ended up actually having to cut it up and go to bed and then wake up and start doing it again. But that's my city in the background. My other buddy's city, if you want to go back and pause it, is right next to it. He just did a tower base. Mine is actually a little beach town. I wanted a beachfront property because I'm too poor to afford it in real life, so I have to do it in games to escape the reality of financial, I don't know, not destitution, but, you know. Anyway, so I finally started on the sides. Sides were kind of a pain in the butt. I'm doing it like a dummy Tylenol person right now, where I'm doing it from the inside instead of doing it from the outside, which I found to be extremely easier than doing it from the inside because you get all kinds of weird, wonky ways to do things. The satisfying part was the corners, I do have to say. And in a little bit, you're going to see I start to have some rendering problems with this. It actually becomes very, very complicated, but it gets satisfying right here where I'm starting to kind of put the spine on the corner. It's graduates to me getting done going over this side. So at this point, I've just kind of learned how to do it all a little bit quicker. The bottom layer of those windows was a pain in the rumpus though, because you could go under constantly, and me, I'm like, if I put it under, I have to delete it immediately because it just bothers the snot out of me. I know a lot of people are perfectionists. Some people aren't. I'm one of those people where it's like, if I screw up a little bit, I gotta like go back and do it right now. So you can kind of see, I'm like, oh gosh, how much longer do I have to build this thing? The truth was I had a lot longer because this was just that one side. I hadn't even finished the other side, but you can kind of see I'm faster now. So I'm starting to be a little bit more robotic with the whole thing, learning how to do it. The biggest problem was the sphere that they have that you're limited to when you build in No Man's Sky. I'm sure if you're a prominent No Man's Sky builder, you've dealt with that, but like this right there. And then here's the little satisfying top. So once you're at the top, it does kind of feel nice. I didn't honestly know, because I know that if you do it evenly, you'll get the weird even top where it's going to be like 3 sides and then a singular cap. And I kind of wanted it to be a perfect 4 top, but the problem is I'd have to go back and do 2 different sides and restart the whole process. So at this point I was just like, let's go ahead and make it where it's just an even top. But you can kind of see I'm robotic right here. Like I said, that sphere is the biggest thing that holds me back. But when you build in No Man's Sky, if you don't know this and you use a controller, you can double tap that left joystick and it'll get you out real quick to kind of push into a new sector, so you don't have to go back and redo it. But you have to do it like click that fast, and it'll allow you to do that. I pretty much right here, there's no problems with rendering. It starts getting very bad. I start getting wonky. I think this is a perfect example. Right here, I'm building, and then boom, I fall under into the water. And the cool thing is I have a lot of squares, and I don't remember where I was when I was building, because I leave my character kind of standing on the platform, and there's a ton of squares on the bottom. So I just kind of had to figure one direction and head there. But you can see rendering problems happening right now. Um, Big part was my other buddy, whose base is right there. I told him to come in. It wouldn't even load in. He had to actually stand there for probably a good 15 minutes just to let it count. It counted each square for his PC. It's a little bit better. Well, it's not a little bit. It's a lot better than mine. But I have fun building these. I don't. And oh, this is a fun fact. The environment started glitching out, and I started having some fish come in. And so they were nice little decorations. A little fishy here, a little strange thing. Started smelling a little bit. I'll leave you there. And then I came over here, and boom, there's a whole nother fishy fish. And it just kind of, I don't know what the environment was doing. It was having problems. This planet also is a bountiful planet, so it just does nothing but storms. And I'll let you kind of get the satisfaction. See, I rendered out again, and the problem is you got the scary floor that's like Squid Game kind of thing. So here's it kind of getting done, and I'm not fully finished. The top is finished, but I of course have to make the door now. And the door's not too bad, not too big of a problem. I didn't really know how I was going to do it, but I figured let's just go ahead and make everything glass. I kind of came back to this afterwards too and talked with my friend about it, and he said that the rendering issue probably came from everything just being a windowed space. I get weather problems afterwards when I'm inside doing different stuff, and I'll show you that in a little bit, but I don't do too much complication right here. And it's just fun for me to build these things. I don't know why pyramids are like my favorite thing to build. Probably the simplicity, and I can just veg out. Let me know your favorite type of thing that you like making. A lot of people like doing Corvettes. I love doing Corvettes. If you guys want to see Corvettes, I do those all the time. I get so finicky that I don't think I've kept a Corvette more than one play. I go over here because this is my breaking point. I'm like, nothing's rendering. I wanted to start on the inside. So this is back to the beginning. There it is. That's how big it is. You can see it from pretty much space. And then I got this really good shot right here loading in. And it's just a pretty scene. So I figured I'd do a little slow shot of it. But this is the weather problems I'm having inside. I don't know what it is. I think it honestly is because this thing is just so massive. And then I make like a little penthouse right here that people can teleport into. Eventually I put a teleporter down, but it's kind of cool. It's a nice little space, and especially like people can get the whole thing because I've got a beach city that I built. I was listening to people talk about how there's not a lot of cities in No Man's Sky, and I thought that was an interesting kind of take. And I started seeing that people have built cities. One guy's been working on a city for 9 years, which I think is incredible. It's a lot of dedication. And I've started to kind of just start building cities. I'm looking for more of a planet that's not just bountiful, but doesn't have any weather storms or aggressive sentinels on it. So this is me kind of finishing the whole thing. And the reason I picked these colors, it's going to get a little weird. I picked these colors right here because my whole island is supposed to be like a tropical like vacation area. Something that's fun. This is satisfying, by the way. I put a single light on the roof, and I love doing this. It's just really satisfying to watch too, and kind of nice. And you think that light would be really cool from a low angle, which I'll show you here shortly, but it is in fact kind of goofy because you don't get that much light from the bottom. But I add more lights as well. It's cool looking when you walk in, but it's very minimalistic. the rendering issues just are so complicated for me right now. But I put lights in. I put some more planter beds in too. And this is really where it just I can't stop having problems. Even this area is render issue. But I moved my portal over the top. It looks like something out of the Matrix or something like a glitchy anime you'd see. Oh, there. But here, I go to the penthouse. I put the portal up there. Here is the section that's kind of nice that you get to walk into, and boom, that's about it. I appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot. If you want to like and sub, I'd love it. Thanks for coming. Jesus loves you. Always appreciate you guys stopping by. Let me know what you want to see more in the comments. Have a good weekend or day or whatever you're going through. Peace.